How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another tank review. Today we're going to be talking about Chrysler K. This is the Grand Finals variant of it. It's just literally a skin. It's black. That's it. There is no difference between this and the normal Chrysler K. So yeah, quick overview of this tank. It has stupidly good armor for a tier 8. Basically no weak spots. The cupola is not a weak spot. It's about 250, 260 millimeters thick. Yeah, like there's literally no weak spots on this. Even the lower plate is like 220, 230. So you can actually kind of troll with this tank by going out in front like this and then make them, baiting them to shoot the lower plate. But don't always rely on that because it's not always going to work. Gun-wise, it's okay. It's not really, really good. It doesn't have super high penetration. However, with the premium rounds, it does make up for that, being 260 pen. So, I mean, if you want to go for marks or whatever, that's the way to do it. But honestly, like, it gets a stupid amount of ammo. So you can kind of choose your ammo quite reasonably. As you can see, I've got 50, 40, 10. I hardly ever go for this much HE, but it's there. I have never run out of ammo in this tank. I think it's literally impossible to run out of ammo in this tank. In fact, you can run out of ammo in this tank. However, you would have to be firing for about 13 minutes all the time, like with this setup that I have here. So, yes, it's technically possible to run out of ammo. Are you going to ever run out of ammo? No, considering that the games in the World of Tanks last about 3 minutes anyway. Now, this thing is actually quite maneuverable. Considering that it's a heavy tank, it does go at 35, and you might think, well, it's not that bad. Like, that's quite slow actually for a heavy tank. Yeah, but it gets 20 power to weight ratio. Yeah, and it weighs 60 tons, so you can actually ram stuff with this. But rear mounted, good at side scraping. It's got very, very solid side scraping armor, so it's more than capable to do so. You do have to watch out for going underneath the tank, especially here, where if you can see it curves up that way. People can and will perma-track you and do damage if they're slightly below you. So they can go straight through the track wheel into the upper hole and it will pen, because this is very, very badly armored underneath. Exactly the same, if you're bouncing the tank, you can get shot underneath the tracks, or just above the tracks, sorry. Okay, so let's not waste any more time. We've talked about the overall stats of the tank. Let's now compare it to some other tanks. Okay, so here we are in Tanks GG, the website that I like to use for comparing all the stats, because there's hidden stats that nobody else can see. So Tanks GG. As you can see, we have the 50 TP prototype, the Liberté, Patriot, Renegade, IS-3A, and Lerva. I think this gives us a broad enough kind of premium tank comparison. With all the different kind of variations of the heavy tank that is within them. Obviously, if I want to compare it to absolutely every single tier 8 premium heavy, I would be here all day. There is a stupid amount now at tier 8. So yeah, this will do. Okay, so DPM, about average. Bit better than average maybe, but around the average. It doesn't have as good DPM as the Renegade or the Patriot. It's got about the same DPM pretty much as the IS-3A, but obviously it doesn't have the auto reloading feature, so this thing could be just reloading in the background, and obviously this is not going to have those 2 extra shells if he's been reloading for a while. And the Lerva has, I mean, the Lerva doesn't have DPM, let's be honest. This thing is just, the thing is, the Lerva's, I love the Lerva, it's a great tank, but its DPM is awful. So yeah, penetration, it is the worst. 198, it's not good enough now. Honestly, 198 needs to be, this needs to be buffed to at least 212 or around there. I mean, even the 50 TP prototype gets 218, and the rest of these get 230, 230, basically 230, 220, and 234. So yeah, like the penetration is just not very good. This is what you would usually see on tier 8 medium tanks. Kind of penetration wise, and for a heavy tank it's just not very good. So if you do meet tier 10s, and you will, you're going to need to be firing in quite a bit of premium to get this thing going. 320 alpha damage, which is actually really nice. It's not as good as like the 440 alpha or the 50 TP prototype or Defender, etc. but it's good enough. It means that you can actually trade with people, especially higher tiers, because as much as the 240 Alpha on the Patriot's really nice for DPM, when you meet tier 10s and you do damage and you just want to trade with someone, it's so hard to trade 1-for-1 and feel like you are doing something to them, if that makes sense, with the Patriot or any tank that's kind of got low alpha. So 320 is really nice. Obviously it's not 440 or 390, so you're not going to be super competitive against, say, tier 10s in trading, especially tier 10 heavies, but it's good enough. Rate of fire, tied to DPM, same with the reload time. Take this for what you will. I'm not going to go through these too much. Now, it is a 105 caliber gun, which means you can pen UDES and you can pen the STRV S1. You will not be able to pen the 1030 or the 103B. So keep that in mind. You are not going to be able to pen the high tier 9 and tier 10 Swedish TDs with this gun. Shell velocity is actually pretty poor. It has AP, but I mean, it's only 1,000 meters a second, which is probably around about average for AP rounds at the higher tiers. Obviously, you do get some tanks that have about 1.1, 1.2, but it's okay. But yeah, you will be feeling it at longer ranges. So you might want to, again, switch to APCR just to have that better shell velocity if you are aiming at someone that's a bit further away. Ammo capacity, 100. This thing literally has shells everywhere. It makes me surprised that there is enough room in the tank for crew members. And you think that the Lerva has a lot of shells, this thing has 20 more than it. Yeah. Potential damage, 32,000. That is enough to nearly kill a full tier 10 heavy enemy team. I mean, mind you, you're not going to do so well if there's a full tier 10 heavy enemy team, but you have enough ammo. Now, gun handling stats on this tank are not too bad. They're about average for what you would expect for a heavy tank. Aim time, actually really nice at 1.8. 0.35 dispersion for the actual accuracy of the gun. So you can get this down to quite a good, solid bit of accuracy. Not as good as the Lerva, but oh well. Speaking of the Lerva, you basically get identical dispersion stats when you're moving the turret and tank traverse and stuff like that. So you are going to need V-stab. Don't get me wrong. Like, I wouldn't play any of these without V-stab, but that does mean that you are going to have very, very nice accuracy when you are getting to your place where you want to farm your damage, and also when you're just turning the turret in general, which is really nice. Especially when you think about the IS-3A's gun handling. Yeah, like... Whew. Elevation wise at 15 degrees is okay. It is not great. You don't have 20 like the rest of these, and you definitely don't have 38 like the Lerva does with its AA cannon apparently. Dispersion of -6 leaves a little bit to be desired. You don't have 10 degrees like the rest of these, and you are kind of you're 1 degree better off than an IS-3A. And considering that you are taller than an IS-3A, that means you basically get around about the same as an IS-3A. Take that how you want it, but that is not very good. And you do not get anything more over the back of the tank, even though there's no kind of engine deck or hull armor there. You cannot depress your gun over the back because of the actual gun mantlet. It'll block it on the actual hull. Now, for the mobility, I've already said that this is actually quite a fast tank. Yes, 35 isn't very, very fast, but I mean, comparison to the rest, it looks okay. It's about average for the top speed. And actually getting there, power to weight of 20, just look how much different that is comparison to everything else. The Renegade is next with 16, and you get 20. So, I mean, there is an argument to put turbo on this, but honestly, there's no... I don't think that you should. And I'll talk about the equipment choices a bit later on, but some of these tanks, yeah, sure, turbo could help, but for the majority of heavy tanks, V-stab vents rammer is going to be more than enough. I mean, yes, you could swap out the vents for improved hardening, but it just depends on the tank. Terrain resistance, this thing actually gets the best out of all of them. which is again very nice considering that it does get average top speed, which means because of the power to weight ratio, if you're going up Himmelsdorf Hill, which I don't really recommend you do in the Chrysler, but to each their own, it's going to be decent for you. It's not going to be an unpleasant experience. It's not like you're going up there in a tortoise. Now, for the hull armor. Yeah. Okay, let's go and show you it. Okay, so here is the Chrysler K with the standard rounds of AP. The upper plate is about 250 millimeters thick. You can get it down to about 240 if you go right there. The lower plate around about 210, 220, depending on where you aim it. And the cupola 250. Yeah, the turret is 280, 260, 300. There is no weak spots on this tank at all. Now, one thing that I was saying about, if they are below you like this, they can pen there with relative ease, especially if they're a little bit of a higher tier. So if you're side scraping like this and you're bouncing up and down, and they are, because obviously you're quite a mobile tank with respect to the engine power, it's easy to bounce this tank. And when it goes up, I mean, even with AP rounds, you could easily pen this. So be careful when you're side scraping, and also if you are side scraping and you're bouncing, be very careful about going and getting shot under here, because this is an overmatch. It's only 20 millimeters thick. Yeah, it's going to be penned. However, talking about side scraping, yeah, this thing, I mean, if it's side scraping against you, you can literally just go like this, expose your entire track wheel, and they will not pen you at all. Even with APCR, I mean, you have a very, very slim chance there, 40%, and also another about 40-50% to go underneath the gun. But if you go high, you're hitting 700 millimeters of armor. And the cupola is stupid. Just look at this cupola. It's so troll. So do not go and try to pen the cupola. It's pretty much pointless in this tank. If you really want to do damage to this thing, you load gold and you just hope for the best of going through the upper plate. That's the best thing to do. Or you go around the side, obviously, and flank it. It's sad, but it's just how it is. This tank should never, ever see tier 6s. It is completely unfair against tier 6s. I will tell you now, in -2 matchmaking, and I have said this a million times, that +2 and -2 is not fair and not balanced in the slightest. This tank is literally everything bad about that put into one. However, saying that, if this thing gets in -2, your armor is pretty much irrelevant. I mean, sure, you can bounce some stuff, but as soon as they load 350 heat, it's over for you. For example, this is what a Chrysler K looks like for a 260. Yeah, good luck side scraping against that thing. Pretty much everywhere is just a guaranteed pen, like 70%. Again, no point going for the cupola unless you get a little bit lucky, but you can get stupidly unlucky, because if you go for the cupola and you hit these little tiny dots, it just won't pen. The heat will just get absorbed by it, and that's it. So, yeah. And if you are in a taller tank and you have a 120mm caliber gun, you can overmatch the engine deck in this thing. So, if you're taller than it and you got that gun, just go and kill it, because it is very, very easy to kill this thing if you have a 120mm caliber gun. So, that was that about the armor. Yep, this thing has the best armor of all of them. We'll just leave it at that. Camo values, they're irrelevant. It's a heavy tank. I'm not going to talk about them. View range at 380 is quite low. It's not as low as the AMX, but it is low. You don't need coated optics on this tank, but vents with food is going to make it the best kind of choice overall. Fire chance of 20%. It is what it is. Most of them have 20% anyway. So yeah, let's go back into the game and I will talk to you about the equipment and the crew skills for this tank. Okay, so here we are back in the garage. Equipment wise, vents, rammer, V-stab. Make sure vents is in the first slot if you're not going to use bounty or something like that. There is a very, very strong argument that you can put improved hardening on this thing. I've tried it. It works. You do get 1.5 base HP. And yes, this is very, very nice. However, you do then lose quite a bit of view range, and you're not super, super close to that 445, which is the maximum spotting range for yourself. So I wouldn't recommend this unless you don't really care about spotting that much. And that is completely valid because it's a heavy tank. View range doesn't matter that much. However, I do want at least to try and get as close to 445 as is possible. So for now, it's vents. Maybe I'll change in the future. Who knows? Rammer and V-Stab are non-negotiable. Like, I don't see why you would change them out for anything. As I said before, you could put turbo there, but you're sacrificing too much, in my opinion. At least with the improved hardening, you're then boosting up the health of the tank and the track health so that you can actually, become more of a brawler. And with this super, super good armor, you are even more overpowered than you already were with the HP boost. So yeah, I wouldn't choose turbo on this thing. Crew skill wise, obviously 6th Sense, Brothers in Arms. You want to get situational awareness and recon, and then repairs, and that's basically it. Up to you what you pick for the rest of it. Pretty much the standard heavy tank setup. Okay, so that has been more than enough talking about the tank. Let's go and play some games, shall we? Okay, so we get Mountain Pass, tier 9 game with 2 arty. Not too bad. Nothing to kind of be super happy about, but it's okay. We can make this work. Obviously, we do have more than enough ammo, so that if we need to fire premium, it's there ready for us. We're going to go this side because I just hate trying to cross this and then battling out here, and then you don't get any help and you got to return. At least with this side, you can actually kind of go more hull down and use this ridgeline to your advantage. Also, usually there's someone that wants to just YOLO forwards, so you can then get some nice shots on them. The only downside to this position is that obviously artillery can hit you pretty easily. We've got a Mausch and an I6 coming with us. Okay. Okay, you know what? We'll move up. Okay, no, we're not going to move up. Good. Thank you so much, artillery. Let's see if we can just bounce and then move forwards. He's over peeking to try and shoot me again. Okay. I did not expect that to bounce. One into Escapola. I was trying to get the other one into Escapola, but it didn't work. Engine dead again. Unfortunately, I think we're going to die here. But it's okay. Let's see what we can do. Try and make the most of this. Put one into him. I mean, he's just going to keep me perma-tracked here. And now, unfortunately, we die. Not a lot we can do. I mean, we tried to actually push forwards and do something, but oh well. Okay, quick look at battle hits to see where those shells went. Obviously, you're not going to get through that. AP to lower plate, yeah, just lower plate every single time, unfortunately. The thing is, if you don't hide the lower plate, because that's the weakest part of the tank, and anything on your tier or higher can easily go for the lower plate, even with standard rounds, you're going to just die, like I did. So, yeah, unlucky. Oh well. I couldn't really do much once I got down there, because there wasn't really enough support there. And they were just coming around the corner. Didn't really care about anything, so yeah. I mean, we died because I pushed down, but... Okay, so yes, we did win that. We managed to get 1.2k spotting, or assistance in general, so at least that went okay, I guess. We'll play it, just to get a bit more crew XP. Team score-wise, yeah, we didn't do much, did we? But whatever. 150k credits profit, good enough. We did do a mission in that, so obviously it's going to be a little bit more. So around about 100k credits profit we made from that game, with some boosters running as well. Also, if you want some boosters for free, some clan boosters, then come join the clan. Links in the description or in the pinned comment, as always. Let's just go straight into another game. Pearl River, I am not too worried about this map. I like this map actually for heavies. It's decent enough. Especially the kind of the heavy corner or the heavy line that we can play here. Not always super accessible to artillery, so it's an okay map in my book. Obviously, you do need to still be worried about artillery because they can hit you still, especially if they go over, say, like around this area here, because then they do have enough of a gun arc to be able to shoot you. Anyway, tier 8s against tier 7s, so we are top tier, which is a nice little refreshing change from the last game, although the tier didn't really make too much of an impact into why we done so poorly last game, but still nice. The thing is, like, a challenger is going to struggle against me. KV3 is going to just want to, like, he won't want to play the game, honestly. So I would go up there, but I mean, it's not... Oh my god, soap rocks, please. He tried to double pen us. Didn't work. Don't ask me why artillery can set you on fire, because I have no idea. It's the most bullshit feature I've ever seen in my life. We bounced that because we're not very good at the game. We missed because we apparently are just awful at the game. Very nice. Good job, Max. Oh, so far we have had a very fun time to artillery. I mean, maybe we can try and side scrape against the Oni. We're going to have to fire premium against him, though. The thing is, he's just going to do like 300 damage to us, no matter what. With his derp gun. And he does have the derp gun. Man, I can't, like... No, don't block me, please. Is he actually just going to kill me? Yes, he is. For goodness sake. Oh, why did I get blocked by the Oni? Well, our game was absolutely ruined by artillery. There's nothing to say about that. It was just straight up ruined. And we get blocked by the Oni. I mean, it's not his fault. He probably was trying to get out the way of me, but... yeah, we then died to stupid HE mechanics that can just pen you no matter what. When you don't need to aim. So yeah, that was nice. Okay, so yes, we get outplayed by artillery, and also we just played quite badly in general. The problem with that tank is that you can't go up because you don't have enough gun depression to be able to play there. So you had to go down, which sure me do, and honestly, like, it was just bad play by me. But yeah, like, if we had hit points, we could have actually done something that game. Like, look at this. This is just, this is so stupid that HE can just hit here, hit armor, yeah, get set on fire. You lose another 400, 500 to a fire. Then he hits me again for 430. Like, that is broken. It shouldn't be a thing. No damage that I took from this game was from AP or APCR or heat or anything like that. So yeah, And the fact that HE can just go, yeah, you know what, front of the tank, that's literally the strongest part of my armor at the moment. That's about 300 millimeters thick. Still do 200 damage. The HE in this game is stupid. However, they did just release a article saying that in the new common test of 1.13, that HE is going to be included in the HE rework is going to be included in the common test. So I'm looking forward to that, because I really hope, and I can't wait to have the HE rebalance in the game to stop the people that just have zero skill in this game from just derping me in the face with HE and doing 300, 400 damage. It's stupid. Anyway, we'll play one more game because I do want to try and get at least a good game in for you all. So let's try again. Okay, we get Paris, which is an okay map. It is a tier 10 game, so obviously our armor is basically irrelevant now. But let's just see. Maybe we can do something. And we're going to play a little bit passive, and we're actually just going to sit here for a second because I want to shoot anyone that's going over here. The ELC is probably going to spot someone. I fired a little bit too soon. You might spot someone else that's crossing. Someone that's a little bit slower, maybe. Nope, let's go. Okay. We've seen enough. Let's continue. Projector 65 in the middle. That ELC is actually in a really good position. That only really an ELC can go, to be honest. I was hoping that we might be able to get a shot off there, but it's not going to work. Oh, we do a track for track trade. I like this trade. Great deal, mate. Do some damage this time. 659. Get our track repaired. Now we can just sit here and just chill for a little bit. We don't need to push. We don't need to do anything. We just need to be patient and wait. CS59 does have enough premium rounds to go through me. So, need to keep that in mind. Have a little look around. Not much is going on, to be honest. Nice. He's dead. CS59 is over there. I'm going to peek out and take a hit, probably. No? Okay, we get lucky. I was thinking that I was going to take a hit from the CS59, but he wasn't looking our way, so... No, we wouldn't have taken a hit by the object or anything like that. Nice. Yeah, you're... Why are you firing HE? Like, seriously? I don't even know how he managed to pen that. Quite impressed that we managed to pen that. Because even the lower plate is about 200, 210. We only have 198. So we actually high rolled the pen a little bit. We're gonna load premium now. We fired a fair amount to be able to make some credits, so now we can fire premium because it's actually going to be more profit if we do premium shells that pen rather than AP shells that bounce or miss. Like, this 705A is not the best of players, honestly. I mean, just by this guy only firing HE, like, you can tell that. But let's push up. Let's see if we can get some... this guy just shot a wall. He's probably firing HE still, so track. And we're actually just going to wait because... Okay, why are you pushing me out? Because I can use this guy as cover and then shoot this guy. He says. Trust me, it does work. These bushes are actually concealing him. Bit unlucky. At least we have a green pen marker now. I mean, the gun does need to hit, which is a bit of an issue, but... IS3 overmatch? No. Okay, well, I mean, we're going to have to just go forwards and take the hits, because this gun can't hit anything at this range. Goodness sake. What is wrong with this gun? Seriously. We should be up to like 2.5k. What is wrong with this gun? Why am I getting trolled so hard by RNG today? Oh man, I don't know. Like, that's just pathetic. Honestly. We should have got like 3k damage out of this game. We should have been at least like 1,000 on the IS3A. Probably another like 500 on the IS3-2. It's so stupid. I don't understand why this gun just missed everything that we fired at. Lower plate. Yes, we're still firing premium. I mean, what I meant to do. Put another one in. 2.2k. Definitely should have been a 3k damage game. Maybe even 4k, but there you go. We still make 60k credits, even after resupplying food as well. Yeah, this tank... The thing is, it's super OP when you're against tier 6s. And that's it. It's literally a one-trick pony. It's like brokenly overpowered in a same tier or below environment. But as soon as you get your own tier and above, it's kind of just useless, and you're forced to fire premium because 198 is not enough. So overall, we gained like 240k. Credits, and we played absolutely awful. We had some terrible RNG in those 3 games, and yeah, we still made some credits, but that's just how World of Tanks is. Like, my RNG recently has been awful. I don't know why, but there you go. Even those fully aimed shots, for example, on that IS3A and other stuff, like, we aim here, right here, where it can pen, and it goes up there. We aim in here, and it goes up there. Again, we aim down here, it goes up there. We aim down here, or even on the cupola, like the overmatch spot, and it goes there. It's just... I don't know, it's so stupid. Like, even when I'm aiming here, it goes down there. Like, I don't know. I don't understand. RNG is just awful to me at the moment. So, do I recommend this tank? No. Honestly, I find it just stupid. It's so good, and you're at the mercy of the MM, which is like I've said in before in other videos, like a lot of tanks, you're at the mercy of matchmaking, but this tank is so dependent on a -2 environment or a -1 environment with no other like tiers that are above it. It's pathetic. I've never seen a tank that is so good when it's top tier, and then as soon as you go 1 tier above to where they actually have like decent guns, it's just awful. This thing will just get penned everywhere, and you don't have the gun depression to deal with tanks on a ridgeline, so you have to rely on side scraping, and you're relying on a lot of maps because a lot of the maps aren't side scraping compatible, and you have ridgelines everywhere where you need that hold down tank. So as much as the turret is great, it's kind of useless with this armor because you have to expose so much of your tank to be able to get those shots off. So yeah, I don't recommend this tank. especially for bonds, there's better options. Patriot, Liberté, just to name two. So, yeah, those are the ones that I'd recommend you get. Do not get this tank. Especially as the Patriot is exactly the same. Same nation, same class. Why would you choose a Chrysler? It just doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Tell me what you think of the Chrysler. Do you like it? Do you love it? Your experiences with it? And yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Make sure to join the Discord, because that is where I do all my voting now for what tank I'm going to review next. And I give it up to you guys, whatever you want. And you said Chrysler, I delivered. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.